You know, everybody can look around and see that there is something wrong with the world. But Christianity and the Christian worldview tell us exactly what the problem is. The brokenness that we see is a sin problem. Let's look at two scriptures. Romans 3:23 says this. It says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Romans 5:12 through 14 says this. It says, "Therefore, just as sin came into the world through one man, and death through sin, and so death spread to all men because all have sinned." Let's look at 6 quick points. Number 1, sin is a universal problem for humanity. Whether people are aware of it or not, it is something that every single man, woman, and child is faced with. We all have a universal sin problem. Point number 2, we must all answer for our individual sins. We must give an account. In other words, we're going to give an account for what we have done, how we have violated or fallen short of God's expectations. And that's exactly what sin is. It is to fall short of God's standard. But we must all give account for our individual sins. So it's a universal problem with an individual responsibility. Point number 3, sin is both committed and imputed or inherited. So we did inherit sin tendencies from our predecessors, our relatives, specifically Adam and Eve. But we also understand that sin has been imputed. So sin is both committed and imputed. We do commit sins, but it's also been handed over to us. Point number 4, every sin has a consequence. Why? Because God is just. Number 5, death is the consequence or the penalty for sin. And point number 6, and this is the good news, that Jesus paid the penalty for our debt of sin. Our sin debt was paid completely by Jesus Christ, and that indeed is the good news. Listen, real problems require real solutions, so I want to encourage you to dig deep in God's Word today.